Hey guys, Sarah here with Crimson and Wool, and I'm coming at you with another tutorial. We have Black Widow in her new white suit. I thought it would be fun. Take It, the movie just came out. If you are looking for what you need to create this cute little doll, then please look in the description box below. I will have a free written pattern available for all of you guys through my Reveille shop very soon. If it's not there yet, then please keep a lookout. I will leave that in the description box below as well. Let's go ahead and get started. So this is very simple. It's just like my basic doll leg, and we're going to make 2 of them in white. So starting off, we are going to work 6 single crochets into our magic circle. For round 2, we're going to work 2 single crochets into each stitch all the way around, and that is a single crochet increase in each stitch, and that's going to leave you with 12 single crochets for round 2. And then I actually lost some footage of this, but you're going to want to go ahead and tighten up and tie a knot or 2 in your tail end, and then cut off just to leave a little bit remaining. For round 3, we're going to work in the back loop only of each stitch and just work 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. And that's worked in the back loop only, and that will leave you with a total of 12 single crochets for round 3. And that's going to leave a little ridge there for the boot. For round 4, you're going to work 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then you're going to work 4 single crochet decreases. So I'm working in the front loop only, wrapping around both. So 1, 2, 3, pull through 2, pull through 2. Do that 3 more times. And then 1 single crochet into the last 2 remaining stitches. And for rounds 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, you are going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. And I will meet you back here at the end of round 10. Okay, so I am at the end of round 10, and I want to go ahead and cut off my yarn, leaving just a few inch tail. I'm going to pull that through. I'm going to take my hook, and I'm going to insert it into that stitch next to it right there from the back. Then I'm going to grab this tail yarn, and I'm going to pull that through and then stuff that tail end in there. And now I want you to go ahead and work up another leg. So you're going to want to have 2 of these and stuff them up. So we're going to get them stuffed up, and we will move on to joining them for the body. You want to make sure that you still have that foot shape right there. You don't want it just to be like a ball at the end. You want it to have just kind of like that, like boom, little foot shape. All right, so I have both legs worked up. I want them to be facing the same direction. So I'm going to usually go ahead and stand them up, kind of just make sure that they look like they're in the same direction. And now to join, we are going to insert our hook into the side from the inside of one of the legs, and then push it through to the other legs, just like that. And then you're going to go ahead and take your yarn and attach it. To do so, you're going to grab it like this and grab it with your hook and pull through both legs. Grab the working yarn over and pull through, and then tighten that up with that tail end. This is not going to count as any stitch, it's just going to count as joining your legs. Now we're going to work on getting 15 single crochets evenly crocheted all the way around. So we're going to go ahead and insert our hook into this leg right here, and then we'll add our stitch marker. So that's 1, and then into the next stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now 8 is going into the next leg. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then 14 and 15. So if by chance you don't have enough stitches or you have more than enough stitches, you can either increase or decrease. It's pretty forgiving. Just make sure you have 15 single crochets all the way around. I'm going to take that yarn and I'm going to stuff it into the leg right there. For round 12 is 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. Okay, so round 12 is completed. We're going to move on to round 13, and we're going to work 1 half double crochet into each stitch all the way around. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into your stitch, and yarn over, pull through. You're going to pull through all 3 loops on your hook, just like that, and that's your half double crochet. So you're going to work 1 half double crochet into each stitch all the way around. That's a total of 15 half double crochets. Okay, so I did 1 half double crochet into each stitch. So we have the leg, which is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We worked round 11 to join, round 12, and round 13 was that round of half double crochets. So for round 14, we're going to work in what I call the 3rd loop. So you have your 2 loops here that you normally work into. You could work into the back loop only if you wanted to, but what I like to do is when you create a half double crochet, there's this loop. So you have 1, 2, and then back here is the 3rd loop right there, 3. And I like to work into that loop, so you could see it right there. Boom. It's right behind those 2 stitches of your half double crochet. I like to do that because you get this ribbing with both those stitches, and it's great to use for adding detail. So what I'm going to do is work 1 single crochet into that 3rd loop all the way around. So 2, and once you get going, it's easy just to move into that next one because those stitches right there are pulling down. So just simply 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. All right, so now you'll see that we have just a little ribbing right there, which is cute for detail, and as we add some more of her detail later on. So for round 15, you'll work 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. And for the next round, we're going to be working some color change. And so you'll want to have your skin tone ready. And I will walk you right through it. Okay, so go ahead and just have your color change ready. So basically, we are going to be working single crochets all the way around, but doing some color change in between those. So we want to do one color change in the middle. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And in the 8th stitch, we are going to change color. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that because we're going to want to keep this color working as well. So let's work 1, 2, let's move our stitch marker up, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now into the 7th, we are going to bring this color in. So we're going to insert our hook, yarn over and pull through, and then we're going to take this color and we're going to attach that and pull the color through those 2 loops. You're going to put your working or your tail yarn in the back, pull tight on both the tail and the white. And then working over that white, you're going to insert your hook over the white, pull through your skin tone. You have 2 loops on your hook. You're going to drop that skin tone right there. And we'll get that out of the way. And grab your white and pull through those 2 loops. And then you're going to just simply continue working your white all the way around, keeping that skin tone attached. So for round 17, we're going to start by working into the next 7 stitches. So we're going to 1 and 2, 1 single crochet into the next 7 stitches, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then on your 7th stitch, you're going to change color. So you're going to insert your hook, pull through with your white. You have 2 loops on your hook, drop that white, take your skin tone and pull through, and then pull that white just so that that tightens that up. And then in the next stitch, you're going to work 2 single crochets and continue working with your white, like working over that white tail or the working yarn for the white, if that makes sense. So I'm going to pull through and work my single crochet and pull through or insert my hook into the same stitch, pull through, and then on that 2nd stitch, you're going to pick up your white yarn again, and you're going to pull back that skin tone and then pull your white through those last 2 stitches, just like so. Okay, decrease over that next 2 stitches, like so. And so for that round, it would be a total of 15 single crochets. We have her little opening right there. And so what we are going to do now is we want to bring up the skin tone. So I want to attach it to this last stitch. So by doing so, I can bring this stitch over. So what I like to do, instead of having to cut off and rejoin, I'm just going to make sure that I have a little bit of a gap right there. So I have just some of this hanging off right here. And then I'm going to join the color by simply starting that last stitch, pulling through. I have 2 loops on my hook. We can get rid of that white right there and work with our skin tone. And then by making sure I don't have too short of a gap between the body, I will pull through. So as you could see, there's this piece right there, and then I'm going to pull tight, and then I want to work 1 single crochet into that next round just to kind of hold that in place. And what we could do here is cut the difference. So we could cut right there and right there. And then we didn't have to cut off and join, and it kind of did the same thing. If that was too complicated, which maybe it was, you could simply just cut off and join. At this point, go ahead and continue stuffing the legs and the torso, but make sure you don't overstuff so you can continue working in the round. Round 18, I started with 1 single crochet into that first stitch, and then we're going to work a single crochet decrease, and that is going to be your pattern repeat. 1 single crochet, and then your single crochet decrease. And then we are going to work an increase round. So that is what we have going on so far. So for round 19, we are going to do an increase round. Now this is working up the head. So you'll work 2 single crochets into each stitch all the way around. Move your stitch marker up, and then you will have a total of 20 single crochets for round 19. Round 20 will be another increase round. It will be 1 single crochet and then a single crochet increase into the following stitch. And that is the pattern repeat, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet increase. And so you will have a total of 30 single crochets for the round. For rounds 21 through 25, you are going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. That will be a total of 5 rounds. So just simply work 1 single crochet into each stitch, and I will meet you back here at the end of round 25. And let's go ahead and place our safety eyes. So we're going to place them between rows 4 and 5 of the head. So instead of counting all the rows we've done so far, I'm going to simply start at our increase round right here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So between rows 4 and 5, I want to line it up with the leg. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then place the eye. I feel like that might be too far over, but let's count. So and then I'm going to count over 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the 5th stitch, I'm going to insert the eye. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches apart. And so just go ahead and look. She's kind of looking like Elvis right now, huh? So you'll place your safety eyes, put your backings on. And then go ahead and start stuffing. So now you will work 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches and decrease, and that's the pattern repeat. 3 single crochets and then a single crochet decrease. That will bring you to 24 stitches for the round. Now we're moving on to round 27. We're going to continue to do decreases. So work 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches and then work a decrease into the following. So that is the pattern repeat, 2 single crochets and a single crochet decrease. Round 28, you will work 1 single crochet and then a single crochet decrease. And you will repeat that pattern, single crochet decrease all the way around, and you should have a total of 12 single crochets. We are going to do a decrease round all the way around for our last round. So you will work a single crochet decrease all the way around. And so now we have this gap here. Finish stuffing just a little bit more. So go ahead and cut off about 10-inch tail, and then we will get our tapestry needle. We can remove our stitch marker at this point, and then we will close in this gap. So to do that, grab your tapestry needle, and then we are going to take the needle and we're going to wrap it into this front loop of that first stitch, wrap around, pull the front loop of the following stitch, pull through, and do that again. Wrap and wrap out of both front loops and pull, and then one more time, wrap, and then we get to see the magic. We're gonna pull this tight and it's gonna close in that gap. Nice and neat. And then you could sew in your tail and just kind of weaving it back and forth, not pulling too tightly, just to secure that. So now, before we do the arms and the hair, let's add this detail to her outfit. Okay, so I have my light gray. I'm just gonna grab about like an 18-inch piece for right now. And then what I want to do is split this. So this consists of 4 strands put together to create this ply. So this is Caron 1 pound. It is pretty much the only yarn I use, well, at least 90% of the time. And I want to split this in half to create 2 groups of 2 strands. So to do that, I'm going to find them like so. Now, if you don't grab it just right, then they're probably going to snag along the way. But if you do grab it and split those evenly, you should be able to just kind of pull slowly like so, and then it will just kind of be able to split apart. So you don't want to do it too fast because you might get a snag like that, which could just be the yarn is together really tightly in that area, and you should be able to just move on if you mess around with it. Sometimes it comes apart quicker, sometimes it doesn't. So that's my little tip for that. So we want to go ahead and create 2 strands. So then now we're working with 2 groups of 2 strands. And so you're going to grab one of those and grab your tapestry needle. And we want to add some of these details to her costume. And so what I want to do is create a line going up this way and then going across that way. So I'm going to come in through the back and insert my needle like so, and I want to come up right here and push down to create a line like that. And then I'm going to bring the needle back around, insert where I came out again already, so that way it's not gonna, like if I were to go right here, it would create a line right there. I want to insert the needle back where I was and push it up to around the shoulder area. Like that. And then we're going to create this diagonal line to meet with this line right here. Sometimes that could catch on the leg, so just be aware of that. And then we have that line right there. And so we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And then we'll take our needle and bring it through the middle right here, and then back down right here for that zipper area. And then what we could do is, if you have enough, you may not, I have probably enough for one side of the leg. I'm going to insert and bring my needle right around this area of the leg, and then bring that down right about here to create a line, like so. And then back around over on this side, and then come up and bring a line down right there. So we have these lines. And so if we want to try to secure those, we can come and bring our needle back through this middle part right here, and then we're going to wrap that and pull it down. Now you could skip these details and just leave it white. You could try to even use felt if you would like. There's a lot you could do. So see how that kind of locked that in place? And then we'll do that one more time on this side. And we'll just kind of pull down and lock that in place. So that one got a little too thick. So I want to bring it out and pull it back through, grabbing that yarn through the same stitch so that we don't create thick lines. So let's try that. Perfect. Okay, so now there's some lines down her legs. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, but we need to grab the other piece of yarn for that. And I'm just going to push this tail through so that it doesn't weave out or come out. And then let's grab this one and do the same.
Okay, so right after this, we're going to get ready to go ahead and start making our arms. You're going to need your skin tone and your white, and I will meet you back here at the end of this so we can go ahead and get started on our arms.
So go ahead and grab your skin tone, and you're going to work 6 single crochets into your magic circle. for round 2, 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then on that 6th stitch you're going to change colors. So go ahead and pull through your yarn, and you have your 2 loops on your hook, switch back to the white, and pull that white through those 2 loops. And so now we have 3 pieces of yarn that we need to get out of the way. So what I like to do before I do that is simply work 1 stitch into that next round to lock that white in place, or your color change in place, and then I'm going to kind of tie these off. So you have this tail right here, and we want to tie that tight, that way it doesn't come undone. And then I'm going to take these other 2 pieces, and I want to get those out of the way. So let's cut off that, we don't need it. And then I just simply do a little tight knot right there, not super tight, but just to kind of get these out of the way and cut those pieces off. We're not going to be stuffing the arms, so it's okay that you have just a little bit of length for those right there. And then what I like to do is push them down and then push the hand out like so, so that we can continue working. So for rounds 3 through 8, you're going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. And you'll be making 2 of these the same way to create the arms. I would just give a little tip. I used to put my finger in here as I was working, and that will create a chubbier arm. So what I like to do is just hold down here onto the base of the arm and just work my single crochets around like so. I was noticing, why are like 2 arms looking the same? Because I wasn't, one I would put my finger in there and then the other I wouldn't. So I've noticed that's the issue that was happening. Okay, so I finished up to round 8. So now what we're going to do is we're going to remove that stitch marker, and then we can pinch the arm closed, and we're going to work 1 single crochet, or actually it will consist of 2 single crochets, but we're going to work across through both sides. So to do that, you're going to insert your hook and push through like that. So I push through both sides. I'm taking my yarn, pulling through. I have 2 loops on my hook, and I'm going to pull through again and just work another single crochet through both sides like so. And then you'll make 2 of these, and that will be your arms. So now I have both arms worked up, and we're going to go ahead and stitch those to the body. So go ahead and grab your tapestry needle. And then you want to line up with the leg like so, and then insert your needle into where that gray piece came out and skip 2 stitches and back out on the other side. And then grab this end of your arm like so, pull your needle through and back into the same area that you came out of, and then pull tight like this. And now the arm is in place. Then you could come back through, insert your needle back through the same portion, and then pop it through the middle of the arm and back into the neck area. And then you will pop back through by that gray, grab a little piece of that arm right there, and back down. And now it's nice and secure, and it fills in any of those gaps. And then you could just weave that back and forth through there. And you will do the same thing with your other arm. All right, so before we do the hair, let's go ahead and do some more detail. So you're gonna wanna get some black and give about a good 18-inch tail. And then we're going to start with a chain 18. All right, so before I cut my yarn off, I want to make sure that it fits around the waist. So mine does. I'm actually going to chain 20 just because I feel like once I get it on there and then once I pull this tight, it's probably gonna loosen up a little. So I would say 20 is probably a safer bet. And then leaving a long enough tail on the other side as well for sewing on some more detail. So then now we're going to take this belt and wrap it around like so, just making sure that it's even. Underneath this ridge right here. So there's gonna be a jump. You're gonna have this ridge and then this ridge, there's gonna be a jump. Go ahead and add to the middle part right there. So I'm pushing that through and then I'm going to grab this other side and then bring my needle through there, getting that out of the way. I'm gonna pull that and then I'm gonna insert back into that same spot. And we want to create it to where it's more seamless. And then you will have your belt right here. So now what we're going to do is you could take this strap and push it to the other side. And we're gonna take this other side and we are going to do some stitching. So you could do this before or after the arms, either way. So I'm going to take this front loop right here from this stitch, this first one. I'm gonna wrap it with this loop right there. I'm gonna keep doing that. So I'm taking this and that front loop and just wrapping it. Okay, so now that we have this back part, what I want to do is add these little straps and then wrap around the leg so that it adds that like holster for the guns. So I'm going to come up here to the middle and then I'm going to come down to the side right here, right here. And I'm going to push that through. like so. And then I want to wrap around the leg like that. Insert back in where I came through before and back out where this line is, and then back down to lock that in place. And then I'm going to come back up into the belt area right there and sew that through, just so that it does not come out. All right, so let's go ahead and do the other leg. I have this other strap ready to go, and then I am gonna do the same. And now she has her little straps. And then, I mean, you could even add some more detail and add the lines right there. I think I'll keep it right there for now. And then we do need to get a little bit of red. So go ahead and weave this black through. I always like to come back out where the black is already at. That way it doesn't show in the white. So there's that. And then go ahead and grab a little bit of red. And we're gonna make the belt buckle. You are going to just create a little belt buckle. So we're just gonna go right here and just kind of wrap this around. Just a few times. Just like that. And then go ahead and weave in your ends. So far, so good. And now I will insert that clip for you to start the hair cap, and then we'll get back here and start adding her hair. And then I'm gonna insert a clip to show you how to do this hair cap right here. So it's not gonna be the same color as her hair, but it will be the same process. So I'm gonna insert that clip. You're gonna use a red for her hair, so go ahead and use the red, but then you could go off of that clip for the hair cap. All right, so for the hair, let's go ahead and work on the cap portion. You're going to start with 6 single crochets in a magic circle. Continuing on, round 2 will be 2 single crochets into each stitch all the way around. Let's place our stitch marker before I continue.
So just simply work 2 single crochets into each stitch all the way around, and I will meet you back for round 3. So at this point you want to go ahead and tie off about a knot or two to tighten up the gap right there, and then cut off any remaining yarn.
All right, so for round 3 is another increase round. We'll be working 1 single crochet and a single crochet increase. That will give you a total of 18 single crochets for round 3. So pattern repeat, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet increase. So for round 4, we are going to be doing an increase round again, and you will work 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then a single crochet increase. And that's the pattern repeat, 2 single crochets, single crochet increase, and that will give you a total of 24 stitches. And I will meet you back around for round 5. All right, so we've done 4 rounds. This is the last increase round. Round 5 will be 3 single crochets and then a single crochet increase. And that's the pattern repeat, and that will give you a total of 30 single crochets for the round.
So for rounds 6 to 10, work 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. Now, depending on your tension or the choice of yarn, you might need to add a few rounds. So go ahead and work up 10 and then put on the cap on your doll head, and then you'll see if you need to add more.
So you're just going to simply work 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. And I'll meet you back here and give you an idea of how many rounds total that I did and what it should look like. So once you have your hair cap done, I went about 11 rounds. It depends on the yarn that you're using, how long or how many rounds you'll have to go, but I usually go about 10 or 11. 11 was the right number for this one. And so I'm just looking for a good gap between the eyes, but not too much, and then nothing that goes too far down here. So go ahead and grab your tapestry needle and we will stitch this on. And I'm basically just going through. We want to be able to leave these 2 loops here, so you don't want to stitch around those loops because we're going to attach hair here. So I am just going to go back 1 and pass 2. So back 1, pass 2, all the way around. Back 1 and then skip 2 and just pop through right there. It doesn't have to be exact, but just to where there's enough stitches to secure this down all the way around would be good. And then you can either sew this in or you can leave it to go with the rest of the hair, which I think I'll do today. And so now you're going to want to get something to cut your hair strands. I always use my case that I have for my safety eyes. It's probably about an 1.5 inches tall and about 8. Well, if I were to do it this way, it'd be wide, but like long wise, it's about 8 inches. And so I'm gonna take my yarn and I'm just gonna wrap it around 30 times like this, and that will give me all the hair strands. So I just do it roughly. I want to make sure that I have enough, so maybe like 31, 32 times. You're going to want to cut the same spot that you started that yarn. That way you have all the same lengths. So I'll just take a few layers at a time and cut those. Now we have all of our hair, and we're gonna go ahead and take our doll, and this is how I attached my hair, so I won't film the whole process. Once I show a few, then you're just gonna do that all the way around. So you're gonna take your hook, insert it through one of those loops, take one of the hair pieces, and then put it in half, grab the end that is creating a loop, pull that through that stitch right there, and then you're gonna grab just one strand, holding the other strand, and pull this strand through. Tighten that up and then tie a knot. And that is how I do it. for every strand all the way around. So go ahead and continue doing this. I'll film some of it just so you could see. I'll go ahead and give an example again. You have these loops that are attached to the end of your wig or your hair cap. I'm going to take a strand of yarn, I'm going to put it in half with the two ends touching, grab the other end that a loop was created, attach that to the loop right here, and then grab one strand holding the other strand here, pull that strand through, and then tighten up and tie a knot.
Okay, so next we're going to do the shoulder pad. So it's going to go to a different clip. After we do that part, then we will continue to finish the hair.
Okay, so we're going to make little shoulder pads for some more detail. So what we're going to do is you're going to grab your yarn and we are going to work 6 single crochets. So 1, 2, so 6 single crochets into a magic circle. 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you're going to pull your tail, cut off a yarn long enough to sew in, or you could glue it in. So I am going to glue these on. So you're going to want to make 2 of them. So you can either sew them on or glue them on, but either way you're going to do the same thing. You're going to have 2 made the same way, that the way they could go onto each arm. So you're going to want to go ahead and get a little bit of glue like that. Sorry, that's just from the end for it being on for a while. And then you're going to put that down, and then we'll cut these pieces off and do the same thing to this one. I'm going to put a little bit of glue. So I'm putting the glue on the wrong side, where this is the right side. Stitches are out, wrong side's right here, and then I'm grabbing and pushing down right there. And then I'm gonna cut that off. So I have both of these ready to go. I want to get her hair out of the way. And then I am going to apply some glue right in here. Okay, you don't want to get too much because you don't want it to overlap, but I'm going to attach at the top of her arm right here. And like I said, you could stitch this on or you could glue it. I'm just a fan of gluing. I feel like I could get the placement a lot better. And then also it's just less ends to weave into the doll. Okay, so there's her little shoulder pads right there, all attached. And now let's work on the hair. So now that you have your hair all done, what we're gonna do is style, and then we'll add some blush. So we are so close. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and split the hair to have a little bit more of the part on this side. So there we go. And then I'm gonna kind of twist to get that hair out of the way. And what we wanna do here is we want to add a little braid. So she's gonna have a braid on the side. So we are gonna grab 6 strands, try to group them a little uneven so that, let's see here. So you want to still be able, you don't want to have this huge gap, you know? So I'm trying to grab some from over here, and then some from over here, and some from right here to create the braid. And then that way some of those hairs will go over to the side. So you're just going to braid these strands together. So I'm just working back and forth like this. braiding. And it's a little harder because she moves. You could have someone hold the doll down while you braid, or just take your time and go a little slower. So I'm just gonna braid this pretty much almost all the way down, but I want to have enough room to tie some off and have a little stragglers. So I think right about there is good. And then what I'm gonna do is, you should be able to grab 2 strands and tie a knot. You're gonna have to go a little more loose in the beginning because it will pull the braid. So I'm gonna tie like that and then tighten up, and you should be good. And so we have those strands right there. I'm just gonna snip just to make it a little more even. And now let's address her hair again. So I wanna pull that over and then pull the braid down like so. So let's get that out of the way and then have her braid come right there. So her hair is down some. So I want to be able to style to where some of these hairs are still down and it's not all the way like back. So that's why I'm fussing with it a little bit more. So that's down. I want to grab 2 strands from back here and pull those to the back, and 2 strands from over here and pull to the back. And then I'm going to tie these off back here like this. Tighten it up, hold down with 1 finger, and then tie that off. And so now we have her hair all finished. We're just gonna kind of pull some of these ends to bring that a little tighter back there. You want to have some of this hair in the front still like this. And then we will do some trimming. So I'm going to trim her hair to the shortest length I could find, which is right about there. And then I'm going to do some pulling again and tug so that that braid is still in the front like that. And then I'm going to grab some of these hairs because they're quite uneven and trim them up again. And I want to trim up to kind of create this little angle. So it's kind of like she has an angle right there. I'm going to do that on this side as well. Just kind of trimming it up just to create a little bit of texture there. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and add some blush. All right, so I have my blush brush, which is basically just a makeup brush you could find anywhere. Dollar Tree, Target, it's an e.l.f. one. And then I have some blush, just regular makeup blush. You could use paint, like fabric paint, but that's too much of a commitment for me. So I like to use the blush, and I apply a generous amount because it's gonna rub off whether you're packaging or whatnot. And then you could always add more blush as it rubs off. And you can let anyone you give or sell these to know about that as well. Alrighty, there she is. We are all done with the new Black Widow, and you can make this in the original black as well. She is all finished. If you have any questions, then please feel free, and you could just trim up ends like that. Please feel free to ask them in the comment section below. If you make one of these cuties, please go ahead and tag me on Instagram at Crimson and Wool. Also, hit the thumbs up if you like this video, and then subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. That way you can be notified anytime I come out with a new video. Thank you so much for watching this, and I look forward to crocheting with you again next time.